Hey guys, Carlos with Bearable Traders, and here's my recap for today. What a great day we had. Today we had a lot of stocks that were moving very nice, such the complete opposite from yesterday. Yesterday things were very choppy, as we looked at in our recap, and also as we discussed in our pre-market show this morning. So let's start with my first trade on Snap. So Snap here was not on our watch list this morning, was not on my watch list, but it was the first stock that popped up into the Trade Ideas Turbo Breakup right at 9:32. So I had my eye on it. I was not going to take a trade today until 9:35. I was really going to be patient, especially with the type of chop we had yesterday, and also with the Fed meeting coming on today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I was really going to be patient and wait for good clean setups. That was the thing that I really wanted to make sure I did not do. So on here on Snap has some great volume. Look at this 5-minute candle, about 2 million shares traded right on here. It popped up right above the previous day close, and then it had this huge pop to 17. Here, I got to tell you, I had the feeling of a FOMO happening big time, because I knew once it got above previous day close, it had a good chance, a good opportunity to break up higher and start squeezing some people. Pulls right back down. We get this breakdown below to the moving averages. We're testing this here. On the way back up, I still don't want to get in on this candle. I want to wait for it to come back down, retest the previous day close, or show me an indication of a pullback. So right here, it does just that. I get in for a long. Stop loss on this one was right about here, probably the low of this candle around 1670. Again, so very clean stop, because you could tell here all your support is above this level. So if it loses all of this, it's probably not going to head higher, right? So this is a great stop to have right on here. You have several levels on here. You lose that, your trade for opening range breakup here is no longer in play. It hesitates to try to break out again at 1690. That was the last high before the high of the day. It cannot do that. It goes back down below the previous day close. And once it did that on this nice candle here, this nice bearish candle, I just took everything out. I knew this was not a good sign to head back down below the previous day close. And glad I did, guys. Look at this drop here. Loses all the moving averages and then heads down nice. And if you look at the 5, it turned out to be a beautiful, actually short towards the bottom once it lost the moving average here. But the play here was the opening range breakup. Again, you got a beautiful opening range here. You got a nice pullback. That's a signal for an entry with a possibility to get to the high of the day, and also the 1712 is what I was looking for. Initial partial here and a second partial right at 1712. So again, this is a perfect signal. If I see this again, I will definitely take the trade one more time. My next trade was on ACAD. So ACAD was a beautiful trade, also setting up for long nicely. You have your opening range here, and what I like about this one is that it actually comes back up and engulfs the body of the previous candle completely. So this is what we like to call an engulfing crack. This is a bullish engulfing crack. On the crack of this candle is where I want to get in long. I'm also looking at the 1 minute and checking out how this pops up above the VWAP, closes above the VWAP, and here's the one I want to get in for a long. So I got a great feel on this. Once I got in the trade, it popped up nicely. And I noticed the spread was really horrible, guys. 7 to 10 cents on a $42 stock. That is not great at all. And I got to admit, this is something I really have to work on. It's one of my weak points where I need to look at the spread before I get into the trade. Now, I got filled right where I want it. I'm not upset about that. But as I saw the price action happening, I saw the spread was just nasty. And I was way too heavy for this trade with a 7 to 10 cent spread. So I just took everything out. I had a full position on this, and I just didn't want to risk that much with that type of spread, 7 to 10 cents. Glad I did, guys. Had no idea this was happening right over here. Next thing you know, this thing just loses it. And the funny thing about it is what made me look at the spread was how weird it was trading. It was very choppy here when it got to this point. And sometimes it's not really that it's choppy. It's just that the price action with the spread can really not give you a clean idea on how the price is actually moving. So it took everything out and turned out to be a nice trade. But again, this one I would have been stopped out on, because again, it just didn't give you no continuation. If you look at the 5 here, it just sold off below the VWAP and became very choppy. So very glad that I made that decision to get out of there. Then the next one was on ZYNE. So this one on here, I took a very small size. Here's what I was looking for in this trade, and this is something I usually do not trade. So I took only very small shares just to risk $50 to get me stopped out on this trade. I already had a good trade on ACAD. I did not want to give a lot back. So I was looking for a VWAP reversal. So the VWAP reversal, it's a strategy that is very tricky, guys, because you're getting in long on something that usually has a nice downtrend, which is not easy to do, right? And this is why this strategy is a little bit more difficult. So I get in here, once it cannot make a new low, on the way back up, I go in long. My stop loss, what I like about this strategy though, is that the stop loss is so clean. It's going to be the low day at that time. So what I was looking for here is for it to hold here, establish consolidation, and then squeeze above this level here, the 9, and then head over towards the VWAP. So the risk to reward, you're looking to risk the low of the day, and you want to get towards the VWAP. In this case, it consolidated. You can see on the one consolidated for a bit, but it really struggled to get going and start squeezing people, so it sold back down, and I was stopped out. I actually put a limit order on this one because it was taking quite a bit in this consolidation. Put a limit order slightly below the low of the day at 859. To be exact. So this way, in case it tested that low of the day and it bounced back, because that usually can happen, you want to give it a couple of cents for that to take place. So again, didn't work out, but again, what I like about these type of trades and people that have taken them and the ones I have seen myself is that the risk to reward can be amazing, right? You can get to VWAP, you can consolidate again. It can bounce back, but sometimes you can take your first partial there or all or nothing. Sometimes you get these bounces that continue all the way back up if the squeeze gets some momentum. So it eventually worked out. Eventually got towards the VWAP, a little lower at this point, but eventually got towards that area, that 940 I was looking for. But again, didn't work out this time. But if I see that signal, maybe I'll keep testing that using a smaller risk, maybe $25, just to see what the probability is for my style of trading on that strategy. Guys, hope you had a great day. We had some really good opportunities today. Our watch list was on fire. You look at Roku, look at this beautiful drop. OSTK, also beautiful drop. Tough to get shares for short on this one. What else we had? Again, like I mentioned, FedEx. Look at Andrew's recap. This was amazing as well. Just a bunch of stock that traded very well. Take care, guys. Make sure to comment and like. I respond back to every single comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time in the pre-market show. Take care.